Welcome back to ACC PM Women's Hoops on Sunday. A really, really good triple header we have for you. At noon, kick it off with Notre Dame at Boston College. Then at 2 o'clock, GameDay is heading to Blacksburg for North Carolina at Virginia Tech. As you see, now ranked 8th in the country. And at 5:36, ranked NC State, little rivalry action heading to Duke. All of that right here on ACC Network, always streaming on the ESPN app as well. Solid Sunday for you.
Pretty good. All those games, man, they're getting to be tight. There's no question about that. There's old Liz Kitley. Let me tell you something now. The Hokies made a statement yesterday at Louisville. Big-time showdown game. Great crowd. You knew that was going to be the case. Jeff Fall's team, always well prepared. The Hokies have not had a lot of success there. No problem. W. What it was all about.
They jumped them.
First time since 1995 when the old Metro Conference. We all remember the old Metro Conference.
Oh, yeah, back in my day. You too, Liz.
Liz is like, what is he talking about? Is that Chinese? What is he speaking? All right, let's get Liz Kitley making her 9th appearance. I'm looking this up literally as we speak. Liz, I think this is a record. Hold on, I got it right here. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. This is a record for student athletes on ACC Network. You are numero uno. It's the Liz Kitley Network is what we're going to call it moving forward. First of all, always a pleasure having you on the show. Man, you guys played great. I mean, it's one thing to go to Raleigh, right? That was a huge showdown game. People would circle the date and all that stuff. You got the big one against Syracuse. But the one yesterday felt like, all right, game on. I mean, Louisville circled the calendar. Here comes Virginia Tech. You know how well coached they are. It's a great environment to play in. And, man, from the get-go, you just kind of laid the wood down and said, no, guess what? Tonight, this afternoon, we're a better basketball team. That was a great team effort yesterday. Congratulations.
Thank you. Yeah, I think it was definitely our most complete 40 minutes that we've had so far. You know, Louisville went on some runs, but at the end of the day, I think, you know, we handled them really, really well. And when we shoot as, you know, efficiently as we did, I think we're going to be a really, really hard team to beat, no matter the opponent.
Yeah, I got news for you. If you're going to go ahead and shoot 65% on people, I really like your chances, big picture, whether we're talking about the ACC, Final Four, whatever the case may be. But, you know, experience has to come into play here, doesn't it? I mean, you've been in so many battles, you and Georgia and your team and Kenny. And, I mean, you just got this thing now to the point where it's like, hey, game's going to come to us. Let's go execute. And when you shoot the way you do, man, the way you played on both ends of the floor, it just felt like, you know what, that's who we are. I mean, it was really impressive.
Yeah, I think we've definitely found our identity a lot more and come into our own. I think, you know, it's hard with the transfer portal and new pieces and everything for people to really figure out, you know, what they need to bring every night. But as the season's gone on, especially as we've, you know, been on this win streak, I think people have really figured that out and been a lot more consistent, as well as, you know, me and Georgia just continuing to be the leaders of the team and showing up for our team every night.
You have not recorded anything but a double-double in the month of February, which is absolutely insane. So obviously you're playing at a high level like you always are, but that is really crazy. I'll knock on wood. Sorry. We talk about this run that you're on, 9 straight. Last year, you went on a similar run heading into the ACC tournament where you didn't lose until the Final Four. What may be the same about this run from last year, and what would you say is maybe different from both perspectives?
Yeah, that's a good question. Definitely, like, the flow of the season has been pretty similar, like facing a few tough losses, but then really regrouping and finding our stride towards the end of the year. Especially towards the end of ACC play. That's, you know, pretty much, you know, day for day how it went last year, honestly. Mm-hmm. If anything, we have, you know, less conference losses than we did at this time last year. So we had, you know, a few more learning lessons early on in the season, but I think we figured it out maybe even a little bit sooner, which is hard to wrap our head around because when we think about last year, we have such a good taste in our mouth because of the way that it ended. But we have to remember that it wasn't always like that. And we had our struggles, you know, as we have had this year. That's just how it goes, especially playing in the ACC, a conference that's so good, so consistent from top to bottom, just talented. But the thing that's probably the most different is, I guess, like the eye test. I feel like for our team, I feel like last year we had a bit more credibility no matter the games that we lost. I think this year we've had to earn our spot a little bit more, just because of the losses that we did face pretty early. And I don't think we look necessarily as athletic as we did last year. You know, we're missing the Taylor Soule and the Keanu trailer that brought that intensity on defense. So we have a little bit of a different style on that end of the floor, but I think we're still pretty effective on defense this year. It's just a different way.
Love that.
Liz, all it took was losing to Duke again. I mean, every time you guys lose at Cameron, it's just like it just spurs you on to another level of greatness. What's up with that?
I don't know what it is. I could have said that was a similarity too. Yeah, that kickstarted our win streak. And you know, last year we talked about how it was probably a little necessary that happened. It kicked us forward for sure, and I think, you know, this year it did the same. And we were able to, you know, get it back on our home floor. But it was definitely a learning lesson. Whatever date that was, we remember that game for sure, and I know Georgia does too.
You play with such physicality. I know a couple of games ago you came out of the game with a big unicorn knot on your forehead. And I know I just mentioned your stat line. You have a double-double every night, but it's not necessarily always easy because there's 2-3 people hanging around you at all times. This season, I don't know if it's different than in past seasons. How are you countering that? What ways are you trying to make sure physically you're staying intact and obviously mentally too, because that can get very frustrating when you're getting banged around a ton because everybody knows how good you are.
Yeah, I think it's a little bit different this year. I think both me and Georgia have stepped up on offense, just taking more shots. So that's been a little bit different. But as far as the physicality goes, honestly, I think it's been pretty consistent throughout my 5 years. I think my face has gotten a bit of a beating this year. I have like a scar on my lip and I have the unicorn, and I don't know, there's definitely battle scars going on up here. But as far as, you know, an overall body feel, it's always pretty rough down in the post.
You know, in this hot streak that you guys are on with this 9 straight wins, 4 of them against ranked teams on the road, which is always to me a telling sign of a really good team. Everybody's good at home, but when you can take it on the road, especially against good teams and win, that's when you make a statement. But with that said, Liz, the importance of college game day coming to Blacksburg, you put it in your own words here. I mean, you've lived this incredible journey, unbelievable success. That what's it say that guess what? Game day is coming to Blacksburg to see you guys play, sold out, rock and roll, the whole deal. What put it in your own words.
Yeah. Throughout the last couple of weeks, I've been saying, you know, what I'm most proud of throughout my career at Virginia Tech is just the way that we've been able to build the fan base and the support for women's basketball in Blacksburg. And I think, you know, it's definitely paying off when you hear that college game day is coming to us. The way that we've been able to sell out the last few home games, the way that people line up for our games, you know, hours before the doors open is just insane. But I don't know. It honestly, I have a lack of words for how that feels because it's just something that I never even imagined when I committed here. Coach Brooks definitely had, you know, big goals for us and for the program, but I think we've almost taken it to a point that we never expected it to. And he's prepared us for it at this point. But yeah, looking back on my little 17-year-old self when I arrived in Blacksburg, I probably didn't even know what college game day meant. And now it's making me speechless in a whole different way, just out of gratitude and excitement.
It's also going to be your home finale, which is kind of, well, I guess in the regular season, home finale, and which means obviously you will have recognition and do all that good stuff on the floor with your family. Have you thought about it at all? Do you think about it, or do you try to just go into it like normal?
Yeah, I mean, it's hard not to think about it. I think I've done a pretty good job of pushing it off. But, you know, especially since we handled business at Louisville, I think the last 24 hours I've been able to process it a little bit more. It's unreal, almost partially because I had, you know, a senior night last year. And I was telling Kayla this. I was like, yeah, this is our second one. Like, we're coming back for another senior night next year, right? Because that's kind of like how we talk about it amongst ourselves. But unfortunately, that's not the case. It's for real. And I'm going to have to keep myself composed enough to still play for 40 minutes after that.
It's okay. Still got NCAA tournament left. We'll see what happens. You know how that all goes. Speaking of Kayla, she hit 1,000 career points in that Louisville game, and she was a big part of what you guys did because when she's hitting from beyond the arc, it's really hard to stop you guys. I know you guys have a great relationship, and we talk so much about you and Georgia. But you and Kayla go way back to your high school days. You chose to come back this year. and I saw you posted all over your Instagram, but what's it like to go through this journey with someone like Kayla, who you've experienced so much basketball with?
Oh my gosh, so much basketball, so much life, literally everything. She probably knows way too much about me. She's literally in the room right over there. If you hear the TV, it's her fault. But it's so cool. I can't really imagine being in a place without her. So I think that's going to be, an interesting hurdle as we depart this part of our lives. But I know that I'll always have her in my life because of the memories that we've made, all of the experiences we've been through together. We just have like this bond that time and experiences have allowed us to have. And I know that won't go away. I probably shouldn't say this on TV, but we're about to go get tattoos together.
What are we getting?
I hope it's okay with me saying that. Just a little thing to commemorate our time together in Virginia.
I love it.
Your
secret's safe with us and the rest of all of our viewers. It's fine.
You can say whatever you want on the Liz Kitley Network. I mean, this is
I'm getting too comfortable with you guys. I need a filter.
Hey, just curious, what are you doing on April 19th? Hopefully celebrating a national championship. And I heard someone's coming out with a new album.
Oh, okay, perfect. Yeah. It'll be up. Where is it? Yeah, it'll be up there. Well, I actually won't even be here. Oh my God. Whatever. We can pretend.
We can pretend. You can still hang it and then we'll figure it out afterwards. It's fine. Yeah. Really exciting. Taylor Swift new album coming.
She's down under.
It'll be a big month.
She's down in Melbourne.
She is. She's in Australia. She's in Georgia's territory right now.
That's exactly right. All right, Liz, keep up the great work. Love always having you on the program. You guys are really playing great basketball. Fun to watch. Can't wait to see what college game day looks like and sounds like. Keep those tears back. You got to go get to work. A lot of work still left. Good luck.
Thank you. Thanks for the reminder. Thank you.
You got it. See ya.